Are you wondering if you should apply for that job that seems to be beyond your skill set? Or are you wondering how to pamper yourself on a budget? Then stay tuned because Rosalyn Hundley will give you tips that will change your life. Greetings and welcome to yet another episode of the Tips Story series. I am Dannita Trice, your host and the founder of Tips Change Lives. For today's guest, I know her from my campus recruiting days, and let me tell you, she is full of poise. And not only that, when she walks into a room, everyone knows that she's a leader and she doesn't have to scream it from the rooftops. She certainly becomes someone that I call a dear friend. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to Rosalyn Hundley.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Dannita. You're so sweet.
It's so good to see you today. Thank you for jumping on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us about your background.
I work in higher education, specifically my functional areas with career services, and I've been in this field now since 2014. I count the time that I was in graduate school pursuing my master's in higher education student affairs at Old Dominion University, because that was field experience that I was getting at that time. Within career services, I've been on two sides of the house, really. I've had experience being a career counselor, working primarily with undergraduate students across multiple disciplines with several different industry interests as well as functional interests. And then through my time doing career counseling, I was introduced to the employee relations aspect of the house. And so that intrigued me, making connections with employers and really assisting them in navigating how to tap into the student talent that they were looking for within the college setting. So I switched over to that, and I have been enjoying it ever since.
Lately, you've been doing your own venture on the side.
I have. So I think I came to realize that I had a knack and also an interest in crafting. Out of this birthed Pearly Girl Designs by Roz.
All right.
So yes, and I just put together cute little gifts, and everything's pearl inspired. That's my signature.
Nice.
You know, my focus is kind of, Christmas stockings, or any other kind of Christmassy holiday season based thing. I belong to Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I'm very active in my chapter. I've had the privilege to be able to serve in a kind of sisterly relations leadership position within the local chapter here in Williamsburg. And so just trying to bring some creative things to the table to really cultivate sisterhood and bringing us together. And one of the things that we do each year is we host some type of Christmas gathering, and there's typically a Christmas gift that goes along with that. So each member is provided a Christmas gift on behalf of the Sister Relations Committee. So a stocking from last year that each one of the members of my chapter received. So I just the pearl design.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you. And each one had a fabric tea rose that was incorporated with it as well.
I'm pretty sure that there are some AKAs who will be watching this. I will be tagging them, so I'm sure they're going to be pretty excited about that. That's
Awesome. And this is just one that's in pink. It's got a little bit of different bedazzled design here at the top. The examples, of course, right now they say AKA on them, but I can switch it up and focus on the other sororities that make up the Divine Nine, as well as sororities outside of that, or create things that have initials and so on and so forth. So it's really very customizable depending on what somebody is interested in for themselves or for a nice gift for somebody else. I've been playing around with a few things. I just tried my hand with something recently, and I think I was inspired because so many women that I know right now are experiencing, fighting battles with cancer. My mother is one included. She, at the brink of everything going on with the pandemic, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. I have to say that she is doing very well. To watch her, yes, praise God. To watch her is like watching a walking miracle. So I'm thankful to God all the time. I had a pink stocking, left over, and I just decided to, create
oh my goodness
symbol for, cancer awareness. So I also love working with flowers as well, silk flowers. So, making floral arrangements for various occasions, or even if you got a great home office space or working space in your home now that everybody is pretty much remote and you kind of want to jazz it up a little bit. I cannot wait. Once my home office is set, I cannot wait to put this beauty on my desk.
Ooh, that is
those are just some of the things that I've created and I've been inspired to put together. And gearing up for the holiday season, I think that's going to definitely be the peak of my business, since most of my focus is, more of the Christmas, holiday, seasonal things, especially putting emphasis on the Christmas stockings. If there's ways that I can share, some of my work with people that are interested in, I'm always, willing to collaborate and create something beautiful that someone will like and appreciate.
Let's dive into some tips. So tell me a tip, any tip that has changed your life professionally.
When you see an opportunity that you like, go ahead and go for it and apply, because really there is no harm in putting yourself out there. I think I don't know the statistics right off the top of my head, but I know like with women particularly, a lot of us are more inclined not to apply for a position because we feel like we don't have enough experience or the specific qualifications, everything down to a T that the job announcement itself is looking for. Men, they technically don't do that. They just go for it. I don't know if this tip was given to me like verbatim, but it's like people were kind of talking to me as I was going through, trying to figure out my next steps. For instance, I know that I wanted to grow in my field because let's just be real. You want to enjoy what you're doing, but also you want to be in a place where you can sustain yourself financially as well. And I know depending on the person, those values that come with the work that you do every day can vary, whether the values are more so locational based, whether the values are more so salary based, whether it's the work itself. It varies depending on the person. I know for me, as I, been through my work within higher education, I knew that it was always really a goal of mine to become a homeowner. And I know where I was earlier on in higher education, that was not sustainable for me. So I had to think about next steps and to kind of create this trajectory of where I wanted to get, not only with enjoying the work that I was doing, but also sustaining myself. And so my rule of thumb and a tip that I have, if I can, influence anybody, if there's an opportunity that you like and you see it and you know that you don't have all of the experiences or credentials or qualifications in which that job announcement is asking for, go for it anyhow. I think my rule of thumb is if I can identify at least 70% of the job announcement and what it's requiring, if I can identify 70% of those things that, I actually can do, or I've had experience somehow, or there's transferable skills there, I will go for it and apply for it. And I'd say that I feel very blessed that I have gotten to a point in my career where I'm at now. Honestly, I was not anticipating to get to the level that I'm at within higher education career service this early, but I do feel that kind of stepping out on faith and being confident and just going for it, despite not having, 100% of the qualifications that, the job has asked for. Because I think that, employers would like to see that their employees have room to grow. I think that it could be a turnoff if you come with everything, because that could say to them, well, this person isn't teachable. They've reached their capacity. And more than likely, they'll get into this role and then be looking for something else to leave. So I think employers and supervisors, good supervisors anyway, like to shape
Keyword.
Yes, keyword.
Good supervisors.
Yes. Good supervisors like to shape and mold their employees. Influence them, grow them professionally, introduce them to new professional development associations or ventures or initiatives. So as long as you're bringing something to the table, something pretty solid, go for it.
You've dropped a lot of golden nuggets just over here like, yes. So tell me a tip, any tip that has nothing to do with professionalism that's changed your life.
I pride myself on trying new things out for myself. One tip that's changed my life to kind of help me be more, sustainable is figuring out the things that you're able to really do on your own. Don't get me wrong, there's some times where you definitely just want to maybe spend the extra dollar to get pampered and things, but if there are things that you can do for yourself, explore those things. So for instance, I'll talk about, my hair a little bit. I change up my hair a lot. Right now I'm rocking a short style, but I've always wanted to find ways where I could do things for myself without necessarily having to put money out there. So I went through a phase in time where I loved to wear braids, and braids were super expensive, to get. You might get charged like $200 to get, some box braids put in your hair. And, I was relatively young at that time, maybe late teens, early 20s. And I was just like, I don't have the money to sustain this. So what did I do? I was determined to learn how to braid my own hair. And I did it.
Nice.
I practiced. Sometimes the styles will turn out a little interesting. Practice and, referring to YouTube and things of that nature. YouTube is really a game changer.
Yes.
There's so many tutorials on there when it comes to beauty, skincare regimen, hair, the whole 9 yards.
Just something fun. I wanted to see your drinkware during the day. I have mine here. So
that's cute.
What about yours?
So right now I'm thinking out of one of my favorite glassware. So it's a mason jar.
Yay!
Guys, this. Yeah. So this 2019's conference, this was our trinket that was given away to us, and I love a good mason jar to have a beverage out. And what I'm sipping on is some diet cranberry ginger ale.
Okay.
A little bubbly taste and, fruity. It's probably not the best thing to be drinking, but
it has been such a pleasure talking with you as always. Is there anything else that you'd like to leave everyone with?
Yeah, for sure. So with my side hustle, as I like to call it, I am on Instagram. If you'd like to follow me, you can follow me at Pearly Girl Designs. And also on LinkedIn too. I'm always open to connecting via that platform. You can just look me up, Rosalyn Hundley, and I'd be happy to connect with you further.
All right. Well, thanks, Rosalyn. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in for this 5th episode of our Tip Stories series. And just remember that it only takes a step or a single tip applied consistently that can change your life. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you again soon.